Hi, everyone. Brad here, Delta Awesome, helping business leaders change things to awesome. And I wanted to share two stories because I'm still working on the context of them. But these are two radically different companies that each have saved over a million, probably closer to 700,000 in just adjusting of their personnel through activation of AI. And there's a lot in this stories, but I'm going to tell the two stories right now just so that you can have them in your head for what's happening. The first one is a 100-year-old organization, established, known, has about 500 employees, about 100 million a year in net profits, and it's doing its thing. And as new leadership is coming in, the first thing that they're identifying is places that haven't gone through an update in over 10 years, especially in personnel, but even in tech or concepts. These are operational things. These are HR things. For AI, this is low hanging fruit. And this company was able to compress two different departments down by 60%. So from 10 to people to four people, think of it that way. And in doing so, added $1 million of bottom line instantly day one. Now you might say, okay, cold-hearted, cruel CEO did this. It's not true, actually. The CEO and the C-suite wrung their hands on it. They loved these people. Most of these employees, again, were here for 10 years. They had expertise. They knew what they were doing. They had institutional knowledge, and they were just frankly lovely people. The problems were twofold. Number one, the context for what this job could be or should be changed from underneath the employee's feet. The world's just a different place. The second is with that change, the bare minimum expected of people increased. The floor came to them. And at some point in time, it crested their natural abilities. And so who was left? Well, in some ways, it was just who was left and AI. And others, it was the people that they chose were the people who could adopt the new context. And so that was company number one. Company number two is almost identical, except company number two only has 700 employees, a lot more, is barely break even. My client was brought in to change them from hyper growth, not break even, not make money, into a profitable company. And he's right on the edge of that. He has already gone through a RIF, a reduction in force in the company. And now he's right on the cusp of profitability, which leads all of the strategic goals of the company to be back in play. When you're in a later stage startup, and this one's 7 or 8 years old, and you get to that place where profitability is mandated by your financing, your ability to attack the market size, your marketing, your brand positioning, all that, hitting that line and crossing it matters a lot. And again, I said he's already gone through a reduction in force, but that's not what this was. This was he brought in a new COO, and she came in having a large, robust understanding of AI and what it can do. And as they were looking at the core functions underneath her, they found two people who were problematic for the exact same reason I said the other people were as well. These people had been with the company since the beginning. They were loved. They were liked. They work hard. They put in their 40, 50 hours a week. They get their bonuses. They get their salaries. They get great performance reviews. But with the adoption of AI, they have fallen behind. And in the last 2 years, they went underwater as to AI can do their job better than they can. Now, if they had adopted AI earlier, there's a distinct chance that them plus AI would have created so much value that then the company would have actually received more from them than they paid. But right now, if you're just a regular employee doing it the way you did before COVID, your numbers for the company, that exchange is no longer right or good. And the COO, very heartfelt woman, very struggled to say it was smarter for him to get rid of two employees, get rid of the things around them, slot in low hanging fruit, easy to understand, commonly available, and cheap AI. They didn't have to invent something crazy and new. They just took stuff off the shelf that's been around for 6, 8, 10 months, and then they replaced it, and they're getting better functionality out of it. So why do I tell these two stories? Well, all been talking about sometime in the latter half of 2025, we're going to start seeing these stories, but they're going to start becoming more and more nuanced and known. And now I'm starting to see these stories. They're no longer, hey, we think this is going to happen. This is on the ground. I have two different organizations who have done this, and they've achieved results that both CEOs wringing their hands. They're both dudes. Both of them heartfelt. Both of them, one in their 40s, one in their 50s. They didn't want to do this, but the math dictated that they had to, because in the panoply of their shareholder context, from the people who make money off them to the people who have jobs to them doing good work in the market, you can't ignore economics like this. And that is the problem that we're coming up with. Thank you all for your time.